So I'm here at the site of the Panathenaic Stadium. About to go inside and take a tour. Decided I'm gonna take a video of this and see if I can put a package, or a little package video, a little video package together of the stadium and see how that comes out. Let's get inside. Hello, I'm here in central Athens at the site of the Panathenaic Stadium. This thing was first used, well, it's been here for a while, but first used for the modern Olympic Games as we know them back in 1896. They had a bunch of events in here. The crowd was in here roaring, cheering on all the Olympic athletes from all the different countries. I think they invited 10 to 13 different countries. They were part of that first International Olympic Games. Then they used it again in 2004. I don't know why they didn't do it 100 years later here. That honor went to Atlanta. Atlanta was 1996. But 2004 again in Athens, they had the Olympics here, and they used this for archery, I believe. And they also had the end of the marathon was here. And this is kind of an interesting oval. You know, we're so used to seeing the tracks back in the United States, you know, being a quarter mile. I don't think this is a quarter mile because it's very long that way. And then it's very long back the other way. So it's almost like it's double. I mean, you could fit like 2 football fields in here, you know, long ways. You play soccer, you know, 2 soccer matches, whatever you want to call it. So it's a very interesting, impressive building. Everything looks to be made of marble. And I think there's an entrance back here, which I'll get to in a minute, to get underneath the stadium and see what's under there. So we're here, we have what could be considered, I guess, special seating. Everything's kind of bleachers up above there and all the way around. But here's sort of the semi-center, like I guess the 50-yard line would be the best way to describe it. And we have kind of like throne seating here. And then right here, you take these 2 seats here that seem to be like special seating. So let's check it out. So look at me, I'm the king of the castle, sitting in the throne seat. There's one right next to me. Ooh, it's cold, cold marble. So now I'm sitting up here, which would be considered the nosebleed section of the stadium. Get a good vantage of the events going on down below. By the way, before I even started filming, after I climbed up here, I had to wait like about 5 minutes because it's quite the climb. And it's a little bit treacherous, there's no handles. Nothing, you have to be very careful. I'm coming up this marble steps. In fact, the entrance to the upper deck up here is almost like a marble ladder. It's very crazy. But this is a beautiful stadium. You can imagine this being full of people, roaring crowd, cheering on the athletes. And I think down there is the entrance to the locker room, or I should say, you know, the bowels of the stadium. So I'm gonna check that out in a minute also. Just walking the upper ring of the nosebleed section, as it were, up here. And just imagining once again if this place was full. All the flags up on the flagpoles up there. People. There's the entrance. Like a bit of sill up there. Pretty cool structure. So now we're entering not the locker rooms, but something that's called the Tunnel of Fate. And if you see, I'm gonna walk backwards a little bit. So I was just reading through the pamphlet there, and even though the Olympic Games was this, or I'm sorry, this is the site of the first Olympic Games 100 years ago, this site was still used even further back for, you know, kind of like the events they did at the Colosseum in Rome. There was gladiator battles here. I guess there was a time of Roman occupation. Oh man, this is really cool. Check that out. So I'm gonna go deeper in here and see what there is to offer in here. Okay, so I'm learning, right? So yes, the first modern Olympic Games was held here in 1896, but they've been holding games here since BC. Right here it says 329 BC. Third year of the 112th Olympic Games. The Panathenaic Stadium was used for the first time of the nude athletic games. So anyway, there's been a lot going on here for many, many, many years. Back when I was saying you can imagine what it looked like when it was full. There's a picture of it. Here's another one. And yet another. So I guess 100 years ago, or I should say 1896, is when national teams, when they invited other countries. So it's very cool here. They have all the Olympic torches, replicas. Here's Sydney, 2000. Atlanta, 1996. Barcelona, 92. Seoul. Montreal. Munich, Mexico. And the Olympic torches are all lit in Olympia, Greece. And they do the torch relay, which culminates in the lighting of the cauldron at the Olympic Games, where it's being held. There's another picture of the stadium being renovated, I think. Let's see. Positioning marble seats. Yeah, 1896, they were getting it ready for the first international Olympic Games. And then over here we've got Tokyo. Ooh, that's a pretty one. Rio. London. And Beijing. There's some more up on the wall up there. And there was a sign over here. They have the world record for the largest crowd for a basketball match. 80,000. That's a lot. So I'm in the bowels of the stadium. I said I was looking for the locker rooms, right? Well, I didn't see any up there. That was all like a touristy area or like a little store, and it's where all the Olympic torches and stuff were. But when you walk down this tunnel, there's a door here, and then another one here, which are locked right now. But I imagine, you know, such a large facility, you got to have some place for athletes to, you know, get ready, get changed or whatever. And that's probably where they are, those two spots there. And then we come back out here, we're at the entrance. So I was thinking about, you know, coming to the starting line here and running a lap at full sprint to see what my best time would be. But you know what? They say always leave something for the next time. And I think I'm gonna leave that for the next time. Well, I probably should have splurged for the audio tour. But you know what? I got this cool little pamphlet here. It told me everything I needed to know. Very impressive. Just got done with it. I'm gonna get out of here, head back, and maybe go check out the changing of the guard or something. Christina and the kids, I took them all morning to the Acropolis and the Parthenon, so they were a bit spent. And I gotta be honest, you probably hear me breathing heavy throughout this whole video. I am beat myself, but you know what? I didn't travel 9 hours and 5,000 miles to sit in the apartment all day long. I can rest on the way home, on the flight home. Anyway, Panathenaic Stadium, very cool.